In this video, we'll be hunting 2 boxes of pennies, as well as seeing if we make any progress to the Penny Hunt and Fill album. Of course, we'll be looking for any wheat scents from 1958 or older. Also be looking for any foreigns, proofs, heirs, or varieties, or any other cool things we can find. Also be pulling aside any copper, seeing how much we can fill the copper jar. Did pick up 4 boxes of pennies recently, and I picked these 2 for this video. We do have 1 ender. The first box, just a Canadian right there, but a decent sign for the hunt. No other enders besides that. Last video we did get a pretty hot box at the last box of the video, so I'm hoping that success can continue. Hopefully get some oldies, maybe even something for the album if we're lucky. So let's start the hunt on box number 1, and I'll bring you in on the first find. Roll number 3, and I did just uncover the first wheat scent of the hunt. Already 2 Canadians as well. I did see that Canadian ender as well, so we might have a lot of those in this box. Hopefully we have a lot of wheat scents as well. First wheat scent is in 1945 from Philly. Next roll, already going to have the second wheat scent, so definitely getting off to a good start for the hunt. Open the roll, see a wheat scent right here. This one is 1951 from Philly. Roll 7, we're now up to 3 wheat scents, just uncovered. Another one from the 50s, in 1950, minted in Denver. Just opened roll 10, flattened out the roll, and I see the edge of another wheat scent, so we're already up to 4, so we're doing pretty good so far. Hopefully this pace can continue throughout the box. This one's pretty nice. It's just a 1957 Denver. Roll 12, uncovered yet another wheat scent, so already up to 5, which is about halfway where I want to be for a box, so I'm hoping we can get to double digits. This one is just a 1951 Denver. Just opened roll 15. I think we're going to have at least a couple of finds in this roll. There's a Canadian there. An older looking edge there I'm not sure about. And then there's definitely a wheat scent there. Just pull out the Canadian first since I already have it here. It is the 5th one of the box. We do have that ender later. It's another 1975. Already gotten one of those. Not sure about this one. And it is another wheat scent. It's a 1953 Denver for wheat scent number 6. Then we have wheat scent number 7 right here. So doing very well so far. That one is 1958 out of Denver. Roll 17, yet another wheat scent. This is wheat scent number 8 for the box. Tied for the oldest, 1945 out of Denver. Hopefully we can get a little bit older. Roll 22, already up to double-digit wheat scents for the box, which is what I like to see. We have 2 more wheat scents in this roll. It's going to make 9 and 10. First one I see is right here. This one could be older based on the wear. And it is 1936 Denver. Don't remember if we need that one. And we do. 1936 Denver is one of the dates we need. And we just got it. It's a little bit worn for a 30s, but I don't care. It's going to fill a spot in the album. Let's go. Now let's grab out wheat scent number 10 right here. Super excited we can fill a spot in this episode. And that one's going to be a 1940 out of Philly. But we did get a 3060 for that album. Let's go. Just open the next roll. We're going to have yet another wheat scent. This one is near the beginning of the roll right here. This one is another 1957 Denver. Roll 26, just uncovered. Yet another wheat scent is just another one from the 50s. Another 1951D. Roll 36, we did go a little bit without any finds, but we do have another wheat scent in this roll, as well as another modern Canadian, which I'll just pull out. It's a 1993. The wheat scent is right there. Obviously still in a good pace with this box, already broke double digits. This wheat scent is 1944 out of Philly. Just opened roll 42. We are going to get another wheat scent as well as another modern Canadian right here. So I'll just pull out the Canadian first. It's 1988, and then the wheat scent I saw was right here, and that one is 1953 from Denver. Just opened roll 47, which was that Canadian ender. We are also going to have a wheat scent in the roll. Let's pull out the ender first. It is in 1977, and then the wheat scent I saw was right here. Yeah, another wheat scent for the box, definitely on a good pace. That one is another one from the 30s. That's awesome. It's just a 1939 from Philly. Definitely already have that one, and it is common, but definitely take another wheat scent from the 30s. First box has been hunted, and it was definitely a really great box. Wheat cents, we ended up with 15, which is definitely a great number, well above the 10 I like to see. Plus, we did get a couple in the 30s, just a common 39, and then we did get one for the album, which I'm super excited about, a 1936D. Did add one to the album last episode. Glad we can do it 2 episodes in a row. It's getting harder and harder to add stuff, so I'm glad to see that. Kind of odd, we didn't get very many 2009s or estimates, but we did get a lot of 1959s, which is kind of odd. It's usually the opposite. Also a handful of Canadians as well, nothing too old. The oldest just being from 1975. Also did get a couple 1960D small dates. The one on the left's kind of nice. Might upgrade the album, not too sure. But overall, definitely a really great first box. Still going to add box number 2 onto the video. Hopefully it can be similar to the first box. Let's get into the box, and I'll bring you in on the first find. Roll 12, box 2 is off to a bit of a slow start, but I did just uncover the first find of the box, which is the first wheat cent. It is 1946 out of Philly. Next roll, I just uncovered another wheat cent. This one is also 1946. This one's from Denver. Second wheat cent in the second box. Roll 36, we're finally going to have another wheat cent. This is definitely a super slow box. Thankfully, we had a good box 1 to make up for it. Second to last coin to the roll is 1944 out of Philly. That's the third wheat cent for this second box. Just opened roll 42, and I see the edge of the fourth wheat cent for this box. Again, definitely a slow box, but we did get a good box 1, so take it overall. This wheat cent is 1945 Denver. Both penny boxes have been hunted, so let's go over the finds. We ended up with 12 1959s, 16 Esmonds, as well as 19 2009s. Foreigns, all were Canadian, and we ended up with 8 for the hunt. Not a single Canadian in the second box. I don't know if I've ever had a box with no Canadians in it. Kind of odd, but all those were from the first box, nothing too old. 2 1960 small dates, both out of the first box. One is in decent shape. Now for the wheat cents, obviously a lot more in box number 1. We got 15 from the first box and 4 from the second, so a total of 19 for the hunt. Nothing too amazing except for 2 from the 30s, 1939, and best find of the hunt, a 1936D, which is going to go on the album. Very excited about that. Lastly, for the copper, did very well, mostly in the second box. It had a lot of copper, even though it didn't have many finds. Almost filled the jar, which is definitely great to see. So, even though the finds were light, we did have a good first box, so still a great hunt overall. So, I'm going to go through the finds. We already know we have at least one edition. See how much progress to the album we can make, and I'll be back with an update of the album. Just finished going through the finds and updating the album, and I'm happy to say we made more progress than we knew. Of course, the main thing was the 1936D filling a spot in the album. Awesome to fill a spot 2 episodes in a row. I also did do 2 upgrades as well. Minor upgrade on the 1940 Philly, so it's definitely pretty nice for being a 1940. And then the other upgrade is all the way in the corner of the album on the memorial cents. 1981 Denver, found a really, really nice BU one, so I decided to upgrade that as well. So, with 2 upgrades and an addition, definitely a great hunt this far into the series. Hopefully the success can continue, and I'll see you in the next episode of the Hunt and Fill series.